Welcome to Fresh Off the Field. I'm your host, Carlton Aiken. I am joined here today by my brother, Christian Aiken. This is our first ever episode of Fresh Off the Field. This is the best sports talk show in the nation, and you are tuned into the very first episode. Christian, thank you for joining the show today. You want to tell the viewers at home what high school you go to, what position you play, what year you are?
I go to Paulsboro High School. I'm a junior, and I play linebacker and running back.
Very, very key thing he said right there. He went to Paulsboro High School. That is my alma mater. That's why I went. That's why I won a state championship. Broke a bunch of single season records. Earned scholarships. That's my home right there. I'm glad that my little brother here could make the transition over from Kingsway to Paulsboro. Speaking of which, do you want to talk a little bit about that, about your off season and how exciting that was?
Yes. Originally, I was playing Little League in Paulsboro and winning championships from 5th grade to 8th grade. And then I had decided to get reclassed, so I went to a Catholic school. And then I had played 1 year of Little League with Kingsway. And then I went on to high school in Kingsway for my freshman year and my sophomore year. During my sophomore year, I was splitting time a little bit. And I would get in sometimes, and towards the end of the season, one of our starters had got hurt. So I had to step up and start in the game to go to the championship. I wound up having a game-winning play, and then we went to the championship. We came short. We fell short, though. And then during this offseason, Corona had hit. So it was a lot of uncertainty at Kingsway with the football season. So I just decided to transfer to Paulsboro because they were for surely having a season.
Okay. You talked about two things. You talked about going to Paulsboro and you winning championships because that's what we are known for. We're the most winningest team in South Jersey. I think Coach Howard has 18 state championship titles in his 34 years there coaching. And he also talked about the play that he had last year, which got Player of the Year for his team, which is very huge. He was only a sophomore, caused the game-winning fumble to help them win the game, which he has talked about. So now that you are at Paulsboro, you guys are 1-0 now. You guys beat Woodbury. I can't remember the last time Woodbury has even beaten Paulsboro. But you beat Woodbury 22-6. Can you talk a little bit about the game and how that went for you guys?
So going into the game, Woodbury was talking a lot of trash, and since our score of the game for the past 3 years was like 100 to like 14 or something like that, we were taking them pretty lightly. We weren't really taking them serious.
Did you just say 100 to 14? That was
That was the score for the past 2 years, 100 to 14.
100 to 14.
So they got like a few transfers or whatever, a few D1 guys. So they were still talking trash. Like, oh yeah, we're going to beat y'all. We got a young team or whatever. So we were taking them lightly. We were like we're really not worried about them. We worried about teams later on in the season. Really not worried about them. And we went out there and we had 2 3-and-outs. We had punted the ball the second time, and they returned it for a 92-yarder on us, straight to the house.
So they went up 6-0, right?
Yes.
6-0. They went up 6-0. And then you guys, if I'm looking at the stat sheet here, you guys went on a 22-0 run for the rest of the game. Can you talk about that and a couple key players on your team? I know defensively you had defensive player of the game, right?
Yes.
And then who offensively helped you guys carry the load?
So our quarterback, Tyree Thomas, our running back, Bishaw Tootin, and our wide receiver core. We had one sophomore step up. He had a key touchdown. And we had one of our seniors step up. He had a touchdown too.
Okay. So what type of offense do you guys run now?
We run a spread no huddle, who was patented and mastered by the man himself. It was introduced with him his junior year, and we've been running it ever since, and we've been successful with it.
Okay. Now defensively, what type of?
We run a 5-2, which is really like a 3-4 with 4 linebackers and 3 down linemen, and we run mostly cover 3 and like cover 2, man-to-man, stuff like that.
Okay. Now speaking of defensively, we have some of your we have some of your highlights here that we want to play and take through what you were thinking on certain plays. So let's roll that.
Number 15, Christian Aiken, playing good defense here today. A key player here defensively.
Lately been spinning a bag. I did it to getting that cat. I did it to popping them tags. Money was.
So on that first play, You ran basically from the other hash and you hawked the dude down and stopped him pretty much right at the line of scrimmage. You really didn't even gain anything if we were playing it back right there, number 15 on the left side of your screen. That was pretty good. If I'm looking at it, that was pretty good patience in the beginning, and then the pursuit to hawk him down or running back, especially at your size, 6'2", 220. Can you just talk about what you've seen on that play? And
so we were keying that play all week in practice, and I was actually messing it up. So what we're supposed to do right here was we're supposed to gap over a little bit, because when they run trips to the backside, you can't really see it in the frame. When they run trips to the backside and the back is opposite, they're going to run option 9 times out of 10.
And you practiced that all week, and you've seen that
all week, drilled it all week. So right here, I'm thinking in my mind, and my coach is yelling, Coach Howard is yelling. He's like, it's coming. It's going to be the option. Check the option. So I gapped over right before the play, backed up a little bit, and then I seen the quarterback attack our end, and I already knew he was going to pitch it. So I just ran him down, and I just tried to run through him and hit him as hard as I could.
You blew him up. You blew him. Let's go to the next clip.
Now my ex be calling back. Saw me come up out the random. Didn't wait long, now that throwing tension. Her friends fell in love when I fell into fame. In my DMs talking about hey handsome. I know that they
Play this clip right here. So this play, so usually you're at your linebacker position. So they walked you up right here as they sent you on a blitz, and clearly it helped. You got a QB hurry on this play. It was a great play. You almost had a sack. You definitely owe me one. So next game that you guys have, you definitely owe me a sack. But play the next clip, please.
my DMs talking about hey handsome. I know that they hate me and want me for ransom. It's nothing new, I won't give it to that. I eat the hate up and spit it right back. My lyrics like bullets, I'm shooting yo. Women come.
Yeah, it's like running into a brick wall.
Yeah, so right there on that play, they had ran one of their they were supposed to be running one of their inside zone plays. So like before, when we're talking about like me reading my keys or whatever, how the opposite side running back, he takes like a step to go and hit the end. I already knew which play was coming, so I was just sitting there and I coach.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, you have played in slow motion. Look at he's reading the whole entire time. He doesn't move. Look at that. There was great patience on that play, and I don't know what he thought he was going to do right here, but I mean, it's like running into a brick wall. I mean, if it was me, you know,
same result.
If it was me back there, that wouldn't be the same result. But you know, this guy, he ran into a brick wall. So let's go ahead and roll the next clip. All right, we got a little swing into the flat. Oof. Oh, a little suplex action. Okay. You've been. Yeah. What's your numbers like on the bench? Because that's a lot of upper body strength right there.
So my numbers on the bench, benching 300 and
how many times? Once?
Yeah, once.
Okay.
And repping 225 15 times. So right there, So right there, that's what I was saying before about them just trying to hit the flats and try to throw bubbles the whole time. So we're keeping that during the week too. So we will see that the wide receiver will try to come down and hit our safety, number 21. We will walk up and cover 3. Okay. So as soon as I see him come out, I just got on my horse and started running to the play and tried to make a play by the sideline. You know what I'm saying? Because I was the backside linebacker coming always from the backside trying to get him. So
yeah, you don't even see yourself in the beginning of the clip, and then you came and made a huge play. Let's roll the next one. Another great play right there. I like your celebration. Let's go ahead to the next one. Boom! Look at that! Look at that! Yeah. Talk your stuff. Talk your stuff. I seen you talking right there. You said earlier that they were talking a lot.
Yeah. So on that play, it was a halfback draw. So I had actually dropped back in the pass coverage. That's why I got there a little late. But when I had hit him, that was one of the players that was talking a lot of trash during the week. So
isn't that the best feeling?
Yeah. So
isn't that the best feeling?
We was tattooing him the whole game. We was on him the whole game or whatever. And
explain to the viewer at home, what does tattooing somebody mean on the football field?
That is a phrase that I heard from my coach in 8th grade, actually in Paulsboro. That was the first time I ever heard something like that. So Was when you hit somebody hard and everyone's flying to the ball, everyone's hitting them. It's just when you get tattooed. It's like you putting a stamp.
Bang!
Yeah. It's just like you putting your stamp on
It's
them.
just like that. You don't know when it's coming.
Yeah,
You don't know when it's coming. Nah, but that was some real good highlights. So when you hear that ding, that means we have trivia. And the trivia for this week is, if you can answer this question first, if you were the first one to answer this question and comment in the section below the right answer, you will get a free 7 clothing t-shirt. If you were the first one, you will get a free 7 clothing t-shirt. So the question is, you probably know this answer. My junior year of high school, Carlton Aiken at Paulsboro High School, how many yards did I throw for? I broke a record for Paulsboro. How many yards in one season did I throw for my junior year of high school? If you can answer that question first, you will get a free 7 clothing t-shirt. All right. Now, last weekend, you guys were supposed to play Gateway High School, and it got canceled due to Corona. My season, I'm a college athlete at Pace University, so my whole season got canceled. So you guys are having a season, and you have your first game, and your second game gets canceled. Tell me how that felt. Not knowing if you're going to play last week and trying to schedule games. Take me through that.
So, this actually is not the first time it happened to us. So our scrimmage was Clearview had got canceled because of the same reason. And going into this week, we're game planning against some doing stuff like that, and then all of a sudden, on Thursday at the beginning of practice, our coach had let us know. He was like, Gateway, they said that a few of the players got Corona, and it was really heartbreaking because it happened to us before, and I was really ready to play them. That was supposed to be a good game for us, and it just broke my heart when I heard the news. I was kind of mad, but then by the end of the practice, our coach had let us know that it was going to be a few teams that we could that had wanted to play us that we might be able to play, but due to Corona.
I think I remember you saying that it was like Point Pleasant Borough and then Wild Missing and PA. They were trying to schedule that game, but due to things out of the control, you guys couldn't schedule that game. It was too long of a ride and close proximity to other players, Corona and everything. So those games got canceled, right?
Yep.
Right. So with that, looking at the stat sheet here, you were 3rd in the state after game 1 for tackles for loss. So this past weekend, teams were playing all across the state. Their stats went up. Yours kind of stayed the same. So tell me about, moving forward with West Deptford, how you're trying to rebound with that. I know it's all about you trying to go 1-0 every single week, but along with going 1-0, you have to do your job. And clearly that helped you guys the first game, getting a bunch of tackles for a loss. So tell me, a little bit about West Deptford and, what their game plan is, what they like to do, and what you're going to try to do to stop them.
They run a wing T offense, and they almost run it to perfection. And scrimmaged them my freshman year when I played for Kingsway and my sophomore year, so I have a little bit of history with them. And I'm just going to have to read my keys, try to be the first person to the ball, try to be the follow the guards wherever they go, try to jump the play, try to get in the backfield and make some tackles. But one thing I have to watch for is a QB bootleg that they run, that they killed us with last year. So our coach was just telling us about that and saying we have to really key that and not get caught up with thinking it's a pass and make sure we always rerun first.
Is your game away or home this weekend?
It is away at 6 o'clock on Friday, yes.
Friday night game. So you guys have a good 4 days of practice this week to get ready. I remember when I was in high school, every single Woodbury week and West Deptford week were the two huge games. And I was lucky enough to beat West Deptford my junior year. Senior year I got hurt, so I didn't get to play them, but my junior year was one for the ages. I think it was like 39-36 or something like that. We beat them in overtime, but man, West Deptford is always a hard team. They're a bigger group than us, than you guys. Paulsboro's Group 1. They're like Group 3, Group 2 or something like that. So it's always a good game. So I'm expecting a lot. I'm definitely expecting. It's your junior year. I beat them my junior year. So I broke, actually, if I remember correctly, I broke some records that game. I definitely, bro. I think I broke passing completions. I broke attempts. I broke passing yards in the game. So I'm expecting at least one. At least, can I get one record? Tackle sack record, tackle something. I need to win. But I also need a little something. You know, we were in that 15 this year, just like I did when I was in high school. So I definitely need some records to be broken going forward. But yeah, so tell me about, you know, what your goals are for the rest of the season going forward into the off season is trying to get recruited.
So I want to finish the season with 100 tackles and about like 20 tackles, 23 tackles for loss. That's going to be a little tough, only having 6 to 8 games. We may get 2 extra games, we may not. But we have 6 promised games that we're going to have. So that may be a little tough, but...
So take me through that. I know there's like 2 extra games or something like that.
Yes, there's 2 extra games. And since playoffs got canceled for the whole state, we get 2 extra like tournament games. And that's like we can play any team in our county. So we can play from any group too. So it can be like group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, group 5. We can play any team.
So technically you can have a Paulsboro versus Don Bosco.
Well, not really Don Bosco because like they're not in our county or whatever. But we could play like Paulsboro versus Williamstown. They win the top group 5 teams, or like Paulsboro versus Camden or Paulsboro versus Woodrow Wilson, something like that.
So one last question before we wrap it up. So Christian Aiken in the hole, Carlton Aiken dropping back. I'm taking off scrambling. Are you tackling me? The answer is no. Thank you for everything that we had.
Yes.
Thank you for tuning in.
Yes.
Thank you for tuning in for the first ever episode of Fresh Off the Field. Thank you. Tune in weekly as we highlight athletes and their previous games that they had. We will be uploading episodes every single week. Shout out to our sponsors, 7 Clothing and Student Athlete. And we will be right back next week. Thank you for tuning in.